Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And this is your Manchester United versus Manchester City preview show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United Agenda. And this is your preview show. The biggest, well, is it the big? No, it's not the biggest. Manchester will always be red. So City is just, buying their history. So, guys, as always, Mr. Beek, welcome in the house on Monday. And as always, Jay is back. Thank you so much for always, joining us on the Man United Agenda. Welcome, guys. How are you all feeling? Are you ready for the derby?
Yeah, all good.
Nervous, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm nervous. Do you know what I mean? I was. Do you know what? Right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this isn't a therapy session, but I'll be honest with you. I think that Liverpool game has psychologically affected me. Like I can't get it out of my memory, and it's got knots in my stomach that we're gonna have another game like that. So I need your guys' positivity because this is the most positive channel on YouTube, right? So I'm gonna get positive vibes off you guys, and by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure I'll be confident we're going to stuff them 5-0. Don't worry about
it. Jay, tell me something. Because you're living up north, do you get a lot more grief from all the fans up there, like the Liverpool supporters?
To Liverpool, because I live in Manchester, I live in Salford. So, if you see a Liverpool fan around my way, you stop the car and, point at him. What's this? Oi, what are you doing? So it's not too bad with Liverpool fans. And as for the City fans, in Manchester, well, both of them, I don't really know them, so it's not really an issue. You know what I mean? So they do come out of the woodwork. In 2012, when we lost the lead to them, all of a sudden you see all City fans and the City tops and all that. But listen, don't let any sort of misconceptions of what you know on the media. Mainly Manchester, it's quite a red town. He's mostly United fans, and the City fans, yes, they come out now and again and they have a little bit of a brag and all that sort of stuff, but it's not too bad. It's just after Derby Day, when you've lost Derby Day, it can be a sickener. Just that little thing of, even without them saying anything, you just see like a blue shirt and you're like, oh, here we go. Do you know what I mean? Them ones, it's not a nice feeling at all. And that's why with these games, I never enjoy them. I never enjoy them when we're playing in them. I never enjoy them until if we win and we've finished the game, that's when I can enjoy it. The Liverpool and United, the City game, sorry. I can never sit there and just enjoy a game of football because I've got that nervousness feeling. It's not nice, man. It's not nice. And it's even worse if we lose. And yeah, like I said earlier, the 5-0, it's done me. It really has.
Well, Jay, welcome to the Man United Agenda, the positivity show out there on YouTube, as you said. And on Monday, probably I'm going to give his full prediction away already at 1-0 manager game. But I think today is going to be a different day when I show him the stats and obviously about the conceding of goals, how many Man City's conceded, how many Man United conceded as well. So it's going to be one of those games, end to end, maybe. We're not sure. It depends on how much possession we have of the ball. And OS, welcome. OS, it's been a long time. We haven't seen you for a long time. Welcome back.
Thank you guys.
Pleasure. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit like Jay? Nervous?
I'm feeling exactly like him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, you know what? If it was any other time, I would have been okay. But that defeat for Liverpool, I mean, that shook the core of every fan. I think. I mean, if Liverpool can cut us up like that, City, are a much better possession-based team than Liverpool. They create more chances than Liverpool. I just hope, where Oli has learned from that defeat to Liverpool, and he can, bring that to City. And as Jay mentioned, I'm never comfortable watching a game against City or Liverpool. If we beat them, that's when I can enjoy it.
And in my experience watching City and watching sort of Man United, it's almost like I'm up and down the stairs. I can't sit still. I'm up and down. If something's going to happen, I'll just run up. Even if we get a penalty or anything like that, I have to go upstairs and lock the door because I don't want to watch a penalty. That's how nervous it is because I just don't want us to lose that game. So guys, if you're watching, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. We are the Man United Agenda, and we are going to be discussing all things Manchester United. So let's dig in and let's start the conversation off. Donny van de Beek came on. Mr. B, stop it, yeah? Stop it. Don't laugh at me. Donny van de Beek came on towards the end of the game against Atlanta, and he had some sort of positive impact within the game. So will he get a start? Do you guys think Ole will start him off to begin with? And I'm going to come to Jay first because I know Jay, he's got his doubts about Donny. He hasn't seen enough of Donny van de Beek. So let's go to Jay to kickstart it off. Jay, Donny van de Beek starting for Man United in this game. It's going to be a massive game. And Ole, I think, has to win this game. He can't lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, he does. I mean, it's a bit of a gamble, though, isn't it? Like, I understand where you're coming from. Donny had a good cameo, but he's not really played a lot of football this season. And I think a 5-minute cameo against Atlanta, and then you're throwing him into a must-win game, the biggest of the season. And you could be arguing as well. You could argue that that's like Ole saying, I've been getting it wrong for the last 6 months or whatever, or last 18 months. Do you know what I mean? That's like a massive sort of holding your hands up and going, okay, I've been wrong about the kid, throw him in. And also, after the Spurs game, I didn't quite agree with this, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that Scott McTominay was the best player on the pitch by a mile. Now, I didn't think he was, but obviously, Ole's sort of throwing a bit of support at him and raving about him and rated his performance. Now, you're saying, okay, drop Scott McTominay and bring in Donny van de Beek. I wouldn't be surprised if Matic played instead of Scott McTominay. I was saying this on our preview because I think Scott McTominay has had a bit of a poor start to the season, if I'm being honest. This hasn't been his best season. He's been very patchy. If that's, I wouldn't even call it patchy. I just think he's been poor. The Spurs game, I thought he did okay. Probably his best performance so far. Atalanta, very poor first half, got a little bit better. But throwing in someone like Donny van de Beek, who's not played a lot of football, I don't know. I think it's a big risk. And it's one of those where if he wins, if United win, people are going to go, why has he not played Donny van de Beek earlier? Why have you been sitting this kid on the bench? Why did we spend all this money on him? I know it's not massive amounts of money, but it's still a chunk of change, 35 million quid, and you've not given him a chance. And if we lose, people are going to say, you've gambled and you've failed. You've not played him, then you've thrown him in for this game, and then we've lost. You don't know what you're doing. So I think either way, he's on a little bit of a hiding to nothing. Don't get me wrong. If he plays him and we win, he'll take his beatings of like, oh, you should have played him earlier. No, it's not going to be the end of the world for him. But I just think like it's too much of a risk for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to play Donny van de Beek. And I've always said, as you mentioned there, that I've not seen a lot of him in a United shirt to convince me. I'm not saying he's not good enough. I'm just saying I don't know. But is that cameo enough for you? Have you seen more than that cameo to make you think, right, okay, he's got to be in for this game? I'm not saying he doesn't have future at United. I mean, for this game, as you said yourself, is a must-win game. Is this the one to throw it? And is it even fair on Donny van de Beek to throw him into a game like this after he's played, 20 minutes of football for Manchester United in the last month or whatever? Is that fair to say, right, you're starting against Manchester City, probably got the strongest midfield in the country. This is the Premier League start I'm giving you, your first Premier League start since God knows when. I don't know. I just think it's a risk all around. I do. I might be wrong, but I just do.
Anyone jump in there? OS?
You know what? The thing is, one, yes, I wouldn't put Donny into this game just because I think if this is a must-win game for Ole, let him play the players that he knows how to use. I don't think players like Donny, Sancho, they don't thrive in the system that we're playing right now because it's not a system that is what's it called? It's not a system that makes them play well. You know what I mean? And I think with Donny, he hasn't had enough minutes. You're going to play him against a team that's going to have the ball majority of the game. It doesn't make sense to me. So I say for Ole, let him do what he's comfortable in doing right now, which is, he's comfortable with playing the likes of Scott McTominay and Fred. It's worked with him in the past when he's played against City in the past. I mean, he's got a great record against City, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't go against what he's going to pick for City. I don't think he's fair to play Donny against a City when he hasn't had that many minutes, but I really want to see more of Donny in the future. That's kind of where I stand with that.
On a Monday.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see Donny play. I think he deserves to play. I've heard recently he's been kicked out of the international side. I know, though, the last game he was out, and I don't think he's in the squad for Holland this time around either. Either is Sancho as well. So I think he has to start getting some games as soon as possible. And I think he is good enough. I know everyone's raving about him coming on, and maybe they've done an assist or whatever. But by now, come on, man, he has to be playing. He has to play. There's no argument for me. I know he came on the other day as in exchange for Bruno, which again is suggesting that he can only play as a number 10. But I think he can do a lot more than that. He can play as a 6 or an 8 in whatever system you decide you're going to pick today, Solo, whether it's a 4-2-3-1, whether you're picking a 3-5-2, whatever. He can fit in there. He can do it all. And it's not about the system. I think he can adapt to any system because he's that intelligent. He's got it all. And also, if he does score, he can do that, that baby thing. Congratulations. I heard he's having a baby as well. So let's go, Donny, man. We need to see him. We've got a good run of series of games. We're in the midst of it right now. Let's see him start playing. Because what's the point in having him there if you're not going to play him? Give him an opportunity. And we've done really well. Upon reflection, that 2-2 was a great performance in the end. A great result, sorry. And to come back against Atalanta, we have to give them respect. They're a very good side. And he did utilise most of the squad. We've had to change formation. We've brought different players in. And you've got to start using all the players now. And Donny's good enough. Give him an opportunity.
Well, Ollie, and just to add to you, I mean, Ollie has already basically told us who's playing, on Saturday. He's bigged up Scott McTominay already. And he said Scott McTominay has been amazing. So Scott McTominay is playing. And he rested Fred. For the midweek game. He didn't even bring him on. He rested him. So, those two are going to start the game against City. I don't even see Matthews coming in, to be honest with you. The speed at how City are going to be playing, I think might be difficult for Matthews to keep up. So I just think it's going to be a McFred situation on Saturday, for sure.
Mr. B. Don't start Mr. B off.
We've wasted the last 10 minutes talking about a player who we know was not going to play. Let's be honest. Van der Beek could have come in and scored 4 goals in those 4 minutes. It ain't going to make no difference, bruv. He's been there 18 months. And then all of a sudden, he's seen all of those training sessions that he's had, all of those hundreds of hours he's seen him train, watch with the camera, the Vivo camera, watching him train individually. And then he has a good 4 minutes, and he's going to play him. Van der Beek's got no chance, bruv. I got more chance of playing for Man United. He ain't playing. Next question, Solo. He ain't playing.
The problem is, and obviously, you had Ole bigged up sort of Scott after the Tottenham game, and like what Jay said, I do agree with what Jay. I think Scott this season has been, off. He's been well off this season compared to last season. These games now running is the games that we need to see Scott play. We want to see Van der Beek playing in. I know Man City is going to be a tough task for him to come into to play, but he has to get these opportunities somewhere or some point for him to play for Man United. The guy at the moment looks sort of, I don't want to use the word bully because it's a harsh word using bully, but it's sort of face expression when you saw him at Tottenham as well. It's almost like he's that face. And for me, as a Man United fan, I just want to see a unity within the camp of Manchester United, rather than you hearing this player ain't getting off that person, this player ain't getting off all of this. It's like a unity. I just love love. I just want love and unity within the teams, and all the players are playing for the manager and playing for the badge, because that's the most important thing for me as a Man United fan. Players playing for the badge, rather than sitting there and being selfish and sitting there thinking, right, I'm going to come on, because Pogba hasn't been great over the last few games. Bruno Fernandes has been good, so he picks himself anyway. He just tells Ole, I'm playing tomorrow, and that's it. End of. I'm playing. But when it comes to Scott and Fred, I love Fred, yeah. I love Fred. And Fred's got energy, and he's got sort of like, he breaks up the defense. But everything else, Jay, you're going to probably critique me a little bit with the whole Fred situation now, where I think Fred's sort of like got the legs, but the rest of him is not that great.
Nah, do you know what? I'm not going to criticize you for your Fred comment, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, against Liverpool, we were dreadful. We were, right? almost to a man. I thought Mason Greenwood did okay, but I thought as a performance as a team, it was a shambles. But one thing I saw from Fred that I didn't see from anyone else, and I've been a critic of Fred. Everyone knows, you've just alluded to it there. I have. He was in people's faces. He was getting in, he was kicking off. He was having a shout at his teammates. He was getting stuck in. And yeah, okay, his passing was off and the whole team was shambolic. And there was times when, he wasn't great. But he was the best of a bad bunch in that midfield and in the defence as well. And when even the little things like, when it all kicks off, when Ronaldo's kicked Curtis Jones trying to get the ball. And you see Van Dijk and you see Robertson and you see everyone running over there. And I see Bruno, Ronaldo and only Fred getting involved. And I'm like, where's the bottle? Where's the fight? And I'm not one of these passion merchants who go, passion. Oh, just want to see passion. If I wanted to just watch passion, I go and watch the Red Lion or, the Swinging Sporran or something. I want to see skill and technique and players who can caress the ball and go past players and score goals. But I want to see passion as well. I want to see some enthusiasm in a game against the Scousers and no one's getting involved when it kicks off. Fred was getting involved. Fred's telling his teammates when it wasn't good enough. So to be honest with you, Solo, for once, you're not talking nonsense when it comes to Fred. I hear you. And I would actually start Fred in this game. I would. And also, let's not forget, he has his annual good game against City.
Yeah, very true.
I love the way I said annual good game and you went, very true.
Very true. He does. He does have a good game against City. He does
one good game a year.
Well, exactly. You know what? If it's the one good game, at least it's the, I would like him to turn up for the Liverpool game more or less. But if it's City, they can't fill their stadium out. They've got no fans. Come on, man.
But with Fred, do you think it's a Manchester United thing though? Because I've watched him a few games with Brazil, and he looks a different player with Brazil.
Do you know what? I think that gets a little bit overhyped. Was it the Copa Cup where his contribution was a booking, and that was it? He did no passes completed, like not the one that's just gone, the one before. I forget the tournament. And that was against, was it Chile or someone? I can't remember, sorry. But sometimes players can play in a team like Brazil. I'm old enough to remember Kleberson tore it up for Brazil. Hit the bar in the World Cup final, won the World Cup with Brazil. Let's not forget. Scolari said to us, I think he had us over. I think he must have had shares in him. Said, forget your Ronaldos, your R9s and your Ronaldinhos and your Rivaldos. It was Kleberson who made this team tick. He was our best player. And we bought him, and he was terrible. Now, I'm not saying Fred's a Kleberson. He isn't. He's better than that. But sometimes, my point is, sometimes for a team like Brazil, you can play well against, some, let's not forget, Brazil play against some countries that are minnows as well. You know what I mean? It's not all against Argentina and Uruguay and teams like that. So sometimes you can shine or you can do okay in a very good team or a team that does well. And then you come into Manchester United where you're up against world-class midfielders almost every week. And sometimes you found wanting. And I don't hate on Fred. For me, Fred's not the main issue this season. There's other issues, especially defensively. And for once, I actually think that, like I said earlier, I would play him in this game. I just think moving forward, if you're going to be serious about winning a Premier League title and winning Champions Leagues, which is what United should be aiming for, I don't think you're doing that with Fred in midfield. I'm sorry. I just don't. For now, it's okay. But if we've got real aspirations of winning the Champions League and winning the Premier League, which is what we should be doing as Manchester United, not just winning, getting to Europa finals and getting knocked out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup or whatever. We want to win things, then I think you need a proper midfield. Bruno's okay, Pogba might go, whatever. Even your man Donny van de Beek might have a chance, but you need a 6, and Fred ain't it. I'm sorry. So that's my thoughts on Fred on the whole.
Jay, you're letting me decide down. You got me going with Fred, and then all of a sudden, your nose dive.
Listen, when you've got your manager applauding you, laughing and giggling when you have a shot that goes into Rosette, that's when you know, this isn't Make-A-Wish Foundation. Come on.
So, guys, if you're watching the contents, please like, please share, please subscribe to the Mania Agenda, and we are on the road to 1K subscribers. Once we hit the 1K subscriber, we'll be giving you a free Bruno Fernandes signed football shirt. So, we're going to indulge a bit. DOS, we've got now, obviously, Maguire's come back from fitness, so from injury so early on. How do you look at his performance so far since he's been back? Because he's made some dreadful mistakes so far, hasn't he? He doesn't look. It looks off pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a bit shocking. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. It's not just him. Shaw is the same as well. The only difference is, he's at the center of defense. He's supposed to be leading that defense, and he's making worse mistakes than he's ever made since he's been at Man United. I'm trying to figure out, is it the injury that he's been brought back early, or is it just that he's tired from everything that he's done over the summer? You know what I mean? I mean, he's had a great summer with England. So I think Ollie needs to do something here where he needs to look at this guy and see, is he fit enough to play both mentally and physically? Is he ready to play? Because you saw Bailly come in the other day, and we all know Bailly can be rash, and we know Bailly can be Bailly. But he also put in a serious display, you know, like we can't also ignore that.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Don't say that to Omondi, because Omondi's not having that. Omondi is not having it on the WhatsApp.
It doesn't matter whether Omondi wants to have that or not. It's facts, you know what I mean? Like, Maguire has been horrendous, you know, and I don't want to say that against some of our players, but he hasn't been good enough. He has not been good enough. That game against Liverpool, the previous game against Atalanta. I mean, he looks like he's either not fit or his confidence is completely shot. So what is the best thing to do with that? Varane is injured. So do you keep him in and just hope he recaptures his form, or do you take him out of the limelight, let him breathe a little bit, and then bring him back in slowly? The only thing is, if you do that, then he has to go with 4 at the back with Bailly and Lindelof in the middle. Now, is that a good centre-back pairing? I don't know.
Go on for the defence. Go on.
I am the defensive coach in the show. We know this already. We are getting ourselves in big trouble here. If we start talking about dropping Maguire, we're going to have a problem. Now, the problem I see with Maguire, we all know his limitations, right? You run at him, he's going to have problems. He turns a bit slower. He's not the fastest ever, but he can play. You've got to play to his strengths. What we have been exploiting him because our shape is all over the place. People talk about Fred, he's having a good game, or McTominay. These guys are exposing our defense. We keep getting counted on. Every time. So when you got guys bombing at your defense and they're backing up, don't look so good, do we? Even if it's Varane's in there, you can put anyone in there. Best defenders in the world, they're not going to look so hot. So I just think we're overreacting here with Maguire. Yes, he's made a lot of errors. Like in the Leicester game, Liverpool game, you know, he's made a lot of errors, but he is, like I say, he's coming back to fitness. He was our mainstay last year. He was fantastic. He was a rock in defence. And even Mr. B was convinced. I converted Mr. B halfway through the season to say, yeah, he was giving it nods and saying Maguire's all that. He is all that. You know, unfortunately, he's having a bad spell at the moment. But as a defender, you're going to get that. And the spotlight's on you at Manchester United. But I just think you've got to protect him more, protect the defence more. Just for example, you were talking about Bailey. Everyone's saying, Bailey had a great game. What? Because he's going kamikaze, jumping in front of shots and almost getting a handball. Or going to ground. Hold on. Let me finish the thing. I have to say. So Bailey's had a good game because he's going to ground all the time or jumping in front of balls, you know, and luckily not getting a handball and doing sort of like last minute. Where's his positioning? Why isn't he not positioning himself in the first place? It's always like these last minute tackles and everything else. And also, if you look at one of the goals with Bailey, Bailey's the wrong side. There's 3 in defence. He's the wrong side of the man. He's let the man come in between him and the middle centre back. What kind of position is that? You got to see them out wide. What's his starting position like? You know what I'm saying? He has to keep doing all these rash challenges. So we have to look at it, everything balanced, you know, because everyone talk about Pogba. He's playing having a poor game. McTominay gave the ball away just as bad as Pogba did. Pogba was doing a lot more going forward. You know what I'm saying? Let's be balanced when we talk about these players. Maguire, give him an opportunity, give him a run in the team. He'll get the confidence back and let him organise the defence, or let the keeper, who's a bit mute, I think, organise things, get things more compact, and that way we won't be so open. No one's talking about Bailey letting being the wrong side of the guy, and you know, and letting the guy come through the middle. No one's saying anything about that. They're just talking about, look, it's heroics, you know.
I think we're watching different games. I think we're watching.
Anyway, you're all overruled.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have my piece.
All right, let's hear this. Yeah.
If those mans weren't making bare mistakes, you have a position that you play in. You've got Pogba doing side flip balls back into. Bailly had to save that. If Bailly didn't do, you don't expect that. We're watching it, the game. We don't expect.
I wonder we're watching it. He's watching something else.
Right, but you've got a defender who sees that. He has to react. All of those things he did was reactions because the players in front of him were playing like dickheads.
100%.
He was saving everything, bro.
100%.
So I've got Vaughan on here.
So can we talk about the goal that we conceded against Atalanta the other day?
Oh my lord! You're going to tell me Bailly had a bad game. You're going to tell me Bailly had a bad game.
That's a goal we've conceded because of his bad positioning.
Okay, then. So when Maguire, who's been back for 3
No,
games,
no. Let's not blend it. Let's focus
no,
on
no.
You don't want to talk about that, do you? All right. You know, it's no one wants to talk about that. We want to talk about it.
You want to talk about one possible mistake
which led to a goal
versus everything that, let's say, Maguire did in that game that was horrific. Personal mistakes, nothing to do with the midfield, letting people through. His personal mistakes. And you're also going to ignore the stuff that Pogba was doing, flicking the ball across the box. Something you learn.
I want some balance.
Something you learn in Sunday League, that you should never pass the ball across your box. This guy is doing it for fun. And then you've got Bailly he's saving him. Like, come on, man. We're watching
two things: by starting position and heroics and all that kind of thing. Don't get over it. Don't just be blind by this, guys. Look at his starting position. Look at his positioning. These are major issues which led to a goal. That's all I'm saying.
Can I just say, right? There's an argument for all what you said, yeah. But the idea that you get criticised for doing a block that's almost a handball is ludicrous. I'm sorry, bro. Like, if you block the ball and it's not a handball, that's a good block. It was almost a handball.
He was sleeping.
He came out of the frame.
He was sleeping. He came out of nowhere. He didn't see him. He wasn't even on the screen. He's sleeping out of position and had to run over.
No. That's not fair at all.
Not
at all. Paul Pogba turns to face his own defence, plays a ball, a terrible ball. Bailly's on the other side. He goes past 2 of his own players and blocks the shot.
100.
And you're having to dig it in because it's almost a handball. Come on, bro. That's nonsense, bro.
I'm not having to dig it in. I'm saying we cannot be... Look, I'm looking for balance.
For stopping a goal.
Jay, you're a man.
He conceded
a goal. It was his fault.
No, I'm talking about specific. You talk about specific, right? Balance and all the comments, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you can't be having to dig at a guy for blocking a goal. Like, come on, man, that's crazy.
All right.
Like
In that case, keep playing him, guys, and let's see who gets the more. Keep playing him. And when he gets red carded, and all this kind of thing, keep playing him, guys.
But to say, like, you had me right. You was making a good argument about Maguire. I'm with you, right? Maguire's not playing well. Played well last season. I've defended Maguire till the cows come home. This guy was team of the tournament in the Euros, star of the match against Germany. When he got injured 34 games into the season, we fell off a cliff. Yeah, people forget that. Had a little bit of a poor start because of the Mykonos adventure. Regrouped himself, was fantastic. I rate Harry Maguire. He's playing badly, but I'm with you. He ain't getting drops. An £80 million defender ain't getting dropped by the manager that bought him. Let's get real. Bailly is erratic. He is crazy. But yeah. We need him if we're going to play a back 3, because otherwise it's Phil Jones. So let's be realistic. Yeah, let's just, you know what I mean? Come on, like, there's no point in pretending. We ain't going to start Phil Jones. Come on, like, and B, yes, he wasn't flawless against Atalanta, but I thought he had a decent game. I do. I'll be honest with you. But I'm telling you now, right? One day, I'm glad you're. No, listen. I'm glad you're not my coach. Yes, Jay, you might have stopped that shot, but it was almost a handball.
On Monday, there's a question been asked, and I think it's because someone believes you're going to win the Wally of the Week. But we're changing the Wally of the Week because Anthony Herbert is asking, when is it Wally of the Week again? Because
it's called the Monday of the Week.
It's going to be
called the Monday of the Week. And just to let you know, Solo, I've already scouted something you said earlier, which I'm going to go back to later. So you might be appearing.
Oh, don't worry. I've got you. Remember last week, on Monday, you were convinced I was going to win it. Remember that?
I don't know how much you're paying the team, but that was outrageous.
Guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. We're the Man United Agenda. And on Monday, did you want to flick through about 3 or 4 comments? Well for you, or on Monday of the week, as we're going to call it now?
All right, do you want to say hi to Carrie? How you doing? He said, I'm telling you guys, next match we face Tottenham and Ollie's our manager. They will smash us. He was not at fault for the second goal. He was trying to play offside trap. Maguire plays him on. All right, now he's arguing with me. He's taking his personal carry. I was about to say,
that's another mistake from Maguire. That's very true.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. Saragon says, as Jay to justify 2 out of position midfielders, McTominay, number 10 in the academy. He's played number 10 in the academy, is that right? Or striker. And Fred's number 8.
He was a striker years ago.
And Fred, number 8, played as CDM over a gifted footballer and Donny van der Man. Yeah, so there's the endorser of Donny van der Beek. A lot of Bath times here. How you doing, Bath time? And Rebel, how you doing? Bailey was clearly at fault for the second goal, regardless of all his blocks. I didn't pick that out. Just random, guys. Just random. You know,
Hey.
Just trying to get some balance here, guys. You know, and let's see. The main issue with our shape is that the wide players are too far forward in the block, and McFred is instantly overloaded. I'll just go with that. But everyone in the comments, big up, big up.
Wait, there's one comment for you though, Jay.
Go on. David Scott. Do you know what, right? I just spent 10 minutes on this show waxing lyrical about Fred. Fred against Liverpool. Fred did this. Fred was the only one shouting. Fred got involved when it all kicks off. Fred did this. But you know what? We ain't going to win the Champions League with him. Oh, you don't like Fred. And that's my friend. David Scott's my friend.
Oh, God.
Guys, if you're watching, please like, please share.
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing? Someone's pointed out, you know, about, I think Ollie dropped, is it bath time with Vaughan? Ollie dropped the winger, the £75 million winger that he bought. There's a difference between dropping a player that's not really got going and started for you and the man you've bought him for 80 million and made you captain and been the main man in your defence. And I just don't see that happening with Maguire. I just don't. And also, what message does that send out to Maguire as well? The biggest game of the season. I'm already missing Raphael Varane, and I'm going to drop you as well. It's just not. I don't see it happening, man. You know, there's a difference between, and I get like Monday. I get what you're saying. Like you want to see certain players playing, and you don't rate certain players. And Solo, you want to see certain players, and you don't rate. And I agree with all those points of view. I might not agree with what you're saying, but I get that. But you have to look at it as well as what is Ole going to do? What do you feel like he's going to do? Like, is he going to make that decision? Is he going to do something completely out of character and start trusting a man that he doesn't really trust in the biggest game, in a potentially a career-saving game? I just don't see that happening. That's my point with certain things like Van der Beek and like with Maguire as well. I just think realistically, I'd be, and you know, it could happen, but I'd be amazed if it did, because I think that for the biggest game of your season, you're gonna play the players that you've trusted the most over the last 2.5 seasons. Yeah. And those are the likes of Maguire since he bought him and Fred since he come in, to be honest with you.
No, you're right. I mean, I wasn't saying he's gonna drop him. We know.
No, I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, right now we know he's not on form. He's really, really not on form. If Varane was playing, could we afford to take him out of the limelight, you know, and just let him get that, you know, get himself back? I don't know, because every game after game right now, it seems like he's struggling with something, and I don't know what it is. You know, Shaw is the same as well. Shaw hasn't been the same as he was last season. So I'm trying to figure out what this is. Is it the shape of the team right now? Is it the fact that these guys look lost in what they're doing right now, or is it they're tired? I have no idea what it could be.
I think it's A. What you said, it's the shape. For a lot of the season, we just had two guys in midfield and playing like he seems to play this 4-2-4. We said there's a few times this season where we've been overrun in midfield, and we got how many times? Like I keep saying, how many times do teams break on us? Since the Wolves game, I remember every week it's like break, and then we were having to run back because we're not compact as a team. You know, let's start have our starting position. But I keep saying week after week, get Bruno's starting position back in the free if we're going to be like that. And I don't mind it. Let's have a bit of a starting shape where they have to play through you. Don't just leave yourself open and exposed like that. That's, as a defender, myself, that's the last thing you want. You should be screaming at your manager and everyone else to say, look, man, you need to bring these guys back here. You know, because I don't want people running at me. It's the worst thing. Honestly, it's the worst thing when you got pacey Premiership professional players running at you like that, and you have to. Do I go? Do I think? You know what? It's the worst thing for a defender, especially Harry Maguire. That's his weakness. That's his kryptonite. That is his kryptonite, and that's why he's looking so bad right now. Whereas before, when he played for England in the World Cup and all that kind of thing, he was playing in the back three. He was comfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Gareth Southgate set it up. Look at the Euros, for example. Gareth Southgate had Rice, and he plays the guy from Leeds, Phillips. These are two guys who are assigned to sort of protect the defence because they know their limitations. You know, all right, we don't want anyone to run at Harry, you know, that kind of thing. So why can't we do the same? Why are we just playing two little guys in midfield and expecting us to outscore teams? This is not Fergie's era. This is not Fergie's team.
Okay, it's not Fergie's team, but guess what, guys? Solo's team. On cue. Let's
nice. I like that.
It's Solo's team.
Yeah.
Yes, this is it. So what is your team, guys? Put your comments below. Who would you take out? Who would you drop? Let's start off with Mr. B, the assistant coach. Guys, we just take these comments off because we can't see anyone. Wait. Yep. So go on, Mr. B, the assistant coach.
What do you want me to say about how great that wonderful formation that you've just posted is? Or the fact that you've got Van der Beek playing, you've got Wan-Bissaka playing, you've got Shaw playing, you haven't got Jones playing. What is it that you want me to comment on?
Who would you change any personnel? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, you know already that I'm not playing Fred in any game that we need to win. I wouldn't go. I'll be honest. I wouldn't go with a 5. I wouldn't go with a back 3. Just because I feel that Bruno, we probably need Bruno to play a little bit further forward. I would want to go to the normal 4-2-3-1. We're going to get the ball popped around us in midfield anyway. I'm more thinking about what we can do in early transition and maybe on the break. So, sure, Wan-Bissaka. See, I'm playing Bailly over Lindelof. I am playing Bailly over Lindelof. Ronaldo's got to play. Rashford I'm playing. And I would be playing probably out of those players that I'll be playing. Jadon Sancho would be my spot over of all of the players there. I'm dropping. Who is this guy? Is that Lindelof's picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it looks like on my thingy, man. It looks like Dan James. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I'll be going forward to normal 4-2-3-1, and it'll be the normal tried and trusted Ollie formation, if I'm honest. With McFred centre mid, he's not going to change from that. I wouldn't change it from the last game he played with the last 4-2-3-1. I would play Sancho over Greenwood, just because I think that Sancho's in that position is probably a better player. But yeah, I don't agree with anything that you've done on there, Solo. Sorry, mate.
Jay, please agree with me somewhere. Come on.
No, not from me. I'm gonna ask OS. Try and big him up and agree with him, please.
No, you know what? I would go with this. I think this is the only thing that's worked for us in the last 7 games that we've played. This shape, this formation is the only thing that's worked. So I would go that back line. I would have exactly the same. I wouldn't put Donny into the team goal. I would still keep Scott McTominay in there. Like, that's what Ollie is confident with. That's what he's comfortable with. And I feel with his style of play or his approach to games, that is the most efficient for us right now. So I would have him in there. I'd have Bruno in there. And, you know, I love Cavani, man. I just love Cavani's energy. And I feel like against City, we may need that pressing, you know, like, but he could be someone good to bring on if we need to change the energy of the game. So maybe I would keep Rashford and Ronaldo. You can't drop Ronaldo right now. And Rashford needs games. He needs more games to get back to full fitness. And Rashford loves to play against City as well, don't forget. So I think I would keep this lineup the same way it is. I would just take out Donny, replace him with Scott.
Jay?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this was the formation. I think that it's interesting. You've got Lindelof on the left-hand side there. Now, I know that sort of, you know, you think of Maguire as a sort of leader of that back 3 or whatever, but it's usually him on the left-hand side when it's a 4 in it, linking up with Luke Shaw. Now, them two had a torrid time of it against the Scousers. So just wondering whether he would do that, whether he would stick Lindelof in there. I mean, Bailly and Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side is just go to ground FC, that, innit? Listen, there's going to be all sorts of, you know what I mean? You know full well, no one's staying on the feet on that right-hand side with Solskjaer. Hey, don't expect any of that. No one's marshalling the ball out. They're going to be flying in left, right, and centre. Trust me on that one. I hope there's not a yellow card in the first 10 minutes because I guarantee there'll be a second yellow later on. So that one's going to give me a lot of nerves. I'm not going to lie to you. In the midfield, you've gone with Donny. I said earlier, I don't think Donny will start. I just don't see it happening. I think it might even be a little bit too much to ask him to start a game like this. I wouldn't be surprised, right? This is, you know, I might be left field here, if Matic started. And the reason I said this in my preview was, if you remember the Carabao Cup game against City, that first half at Old Trafford when they were beating us 3-0, I think we got a goal back later on Marcus Rashford in the first half. They were all over us. It's 3-1 it ended, but Matic came on and he just steadied the ship. He just put his foot on the ball. He's got that experience that the other midfielders, as playing as a defensive midfielder, don't really have. And I just wonder whether Ollie might look at it. I know somebody's one of his boys, but he might just look at it and go, I need a little bit of someone in the midfield who can just put the foot on the ball, who can just read the game a little bit, has that discipline to just control it a little bit better, especially against a midfield that's got the likes of Grealish and got the likes of possibly De Bruyne if he's fit, and Foden. I know he plays a little bit further forward. Bernardo Silva, for example, they've got all these talented midfielders. Maybe he just thinks Matic is the one. I love Marcus. I think we've got to remember he's still coming back to full match fitness. He didn't look quite, I know no one did, but he didn't look at the races against the Scousers. Didn't look great against Atalanta, I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm wondering whether he sticks with Cavani and Ronaldo, because that looked great, to be honest with you, against Spurs. I know Spurs are poor, but that's a partnership I'd like to see a little bit more of. So in terms of formation, yeah, I think Ollie will probably stick with this. I hear other people saying he'll go back to his 4-2-3-1. I just think the signs are that he's going to this back three. And I think with Bailly being available, he might stick him in there as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if swapping Van der Beek for Matic and Rashi for Cavani, and that would probably be the team I'd expect to see. I'm not saying it's the right one, but that's the team I'd expect to see.
Defensive coach?
Yeah, I like the shape there, Solo. I like the system with Bruno not so high up the pitch. I think against City, you have to be really careful because they overload you, whether it's Grealish on the left or whoever's on the right. They're going to sit you up, and they're going to double up on you with the overlapping fullback or inverted fullback, whatever they call it. So I think that's the perfect shape. That way you could have like little pairs of, say, like the goal to go to Ground FC. That's funny, man. On one side and on the other side with Luke Shaw and somebody else. It's really important. And also, like we saw against Tottenham, I'd like to see Cavani play instead of Rashford, and Bruno will link up with these two guys. Look up and see Cavani and Ronaldo ahead of him, and that could be. Those guys could do their bits, because we're going to be on the back foot a lot of the time. We're not going to have much of the ball. So it's important to be compact, have a good tight shape, and just don't have Bailly sort of doing what he did the other day, where he's running out to the sort of almost to the touchline, and leaving all that space in behind for people to play in through the channel. Because against City, that's going to be exploited. So as long as we're disciplined, and like I say, we always think of Wan-Bissaka having a good game against Raheem Sterling, for example. That's because he stood up all the way, jockeyed him all the way, and then put the foot in at the right time. But against Grealish, it's a different proposition, I think. Grealish is such a great player. I believe that. I think he's super talented, and he will, wait you, get you, and he will bite, and he will go down. So he needs a lot of coaching during the game, and I'd like to see a coach on the touchline actually talking these guys through the game. Maybe Ollie, whoever it is, someone needs to get out there and talk these guys through and help them out, because there's a lot of mistakes out there. But yeah, I like the shape there, Solo. I'll go with that.
For once, they actually agree with me. That's the first, isn't it? So, guys, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. It's going to be a tough game. We haven't really spoke about Man City and the danger they sort of the threats they've got. Really, it's going to be possession football for them. So what I want to do here, I just want to go into the last sort of. Let's go to head, really. So now we've gone into with Man United, sort of like the home form, the away form. On here, I don't know if you guys can see the graphic correctly, but Man City sort of like have a 43% better points ratio per game than Man United. So on here now, this is all the games we played on your. Go on, Jay.
Sorry, we're going live in 10 minutes, so I've got to go and get ready for that one. So I'm gonna have to duck out.
Brilliant.
Sorry, guys. Listen,
that's right.
Love chatting to you. Love the chat. Love the FJ. Monday, I'm praying that Eric Bailly doesn't give you a heart attack, man. I'm gonna be hoping that he doesn't upset you, but who knows, man. So listen, love your work on the channel. Hope the people that have followed us from the link from Paddock are subscribing to the Man United agenda. You can see how they get on. They always have a good laugh, and they've got a lot of experience there as well. Some really good analysis and insight there. So love what you guys are doing. I'll speak to you in the next one. Yeah, I'll speak to you after the derby.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it, Jay. Thank you. Okay, I'm on solo screen. So let's take me off it now, and let's go to the main screen now. Let's get rid of that comment because we can't see Mr. B. He's hiding. There we go. So guys, this is the head-to-head now of our last sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. So Man United, Liverpool got absolutely stuffed. Then we played Atlanta, we won that. Then we drew against Everton, and obviously Villarreal we beat, and then we lost 1-0 to Villa. Man City, also looking at the game, actually, their average win percentages to our percentages, we're 1.40 compared to their 2%. High scoring game or not? Let's go to OS.
I don't know. I would have usually said that it's not going to be a high scoring game, just because, you know, Ollie knows how to set up against Pep. You know, he knows. But right now, it seems like Ollie's a little bit disjointed. The whole team is disjointed. So I have a feeling there's going to be goals in this game. And I don't know if they're going to come from us, to be honest. If you want my honest opinion, I don't know if they're going to come from us. I expected a performance against Liverpool. You know, Liverpool, you don't really need that much determination, and you know, you don't need a lot of work to go into the game ready. You know it's your arch rivals. You have to be prepared for them, and we wasn't. So I'm just hoping that the players come prepared for this. Even if you know, there's a lot of people saying we may be lacking in tactics, we may be lacking in, you know, how to approach games. But Ollie has proved that he can beat City. And if you look at it, this is probably the best time to play City right now, because they're not really at their best at the moment. You can clearly see they're missing a striker. And I think it was Brighton was it Brighton or Palace? Palace was the one that beat them recently. You know what I mean? So they can be beat. So if United turn up, anything is possible.
Yep, thank you. And let's go now to Mr. B.
Positive,
Mr. B. Positive. We're Man United, we're the biggest club in world football. Come on, positivity.
I know we're going to do well in the game. We're going to surprise a lot of people. I think this is a game of surprises. It's not going to be the bad surprise where you're getting a custard pie in your face. This is going to be one of those where I believe the team is going to step up. They're going to go into that international break full of confidence. Obviously, the team's not going to be the team that Solo picked. It's going to be the team that I've got in my mind that I'm not going to tell anybody. And if we win, that's the team that I had chosen. I am confident of I feel we're going to score against City. I don't think City can hold us out, to be honest. City are playing a lot of possession-based football without that cutting thrust, the Aguero, the centre forward. So I think we'll be in there. They're probably not going to score more than 2 goals in the game. It's just whether or not we as a club and Ollie gets those players set up in a formation where we're capable of making chances. If we make the chances, we'll take the chances. That's what my belief is. It's just whether or not we make enough of those chances. They're not going to score more than 2 goals in the game. That is a guarantee.
I like that.
Oh, that's confident talk on Monday. I know what you like already with this.
Yeah. I mean, what a run of games. I mean, just looking at it, we're going through game by game by game, and we're realizing Atlanta, wow, Liverpool, wow, now we've got Man City, and it doesn't end there. It goes on and on and on. So we've got to have a bit of luck, a bit of fortune, and we need to get the points back now. It would be a great opportunity to close the gap on the top 4 and get back in there and surprise a lot of people as well. So I don't know how they're going to say. I always wait until match day, until I see the team sheet, and after the first 10 minutes, then I can really assess how we're playing. I've got no idea how we're going to set up. I've got no idea. It could be, like you say, it could be with Mr. Beast or Solo set up. I'm not sure. But either way, we got such difficult opposition. They played one day. They played on Wednesday. Maybe we got extra days rest, even though we had to travel. You know, there's so many factors going into this. But what I'm really wary of is the way they're playing. They haven't really ticked yet or got going yet. And I think once they do, they're going to be really difficult to beat. So at the moment, we've got the opportunity to really sort of be potent against them. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But I just think with the 3 that we had against Tottenham, Cavani, Ronaldo, and Bruno, and even like we saw with that goal the other day, the first goal against Atalanta, I'm really impressed by that, because we start to see a bit of work. You know, start to see a bit of like, okay, that's good. Movement in the box, past the feet, you know, playing those sort of areas and linking up like sharp little quick intricate passing, and we score, you know. So I like to see a bit more of that. So leave it to Like the defense as a unit, the midfield as a unit, and the front three do their thing. That's how I would do it. And the main thing priority being, let's try not to concede goals. Let's be compact, and then let our Ronaldos, Cavani's, and Brunos do their thing because we know they can.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I know we haven't really touched too much on doing sort of like going through about Man City, but they are a dangerous side, and obviously you got the likes of Jack Grealish. He hasn't really and truly hit form, but he's quite devastated once he picked the ball up and run at defenders, and that's my worry him playing against us, because I know Monday we saying about like the Eric Bailly, if he went up against Eric Bailly, Lindelof got sort of like that frailty as well. It's going to be a tough game, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So, guys, what I'm going to do now, if you wouldn't mind in your comments, throw in your predicted score. So let's start off with first and go to OS. What is your scoreline this weekend?
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2-2. That's me being optimistic.
But OS, it's not that bad score, because when you look at Man City and Man United, if you look at the goals they've scored, they're high scores. All of them, both teams, as high score.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. B, before I go to the 1-0, man, let's come to you first. Realistic, not like on Monday.
2-2. I said we're going to score. We will concede. I'm with OS. It's going to be a 2-2. And I think we're going to be more upset with the 2-2 because we should have had chances to have finished the game.
Wow. On Monday, you're going to change the score, aren't you?
Hell no, I'm going to wait to change the score. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Man United. It's like 12 o'clock kickoff, isn't it? Or 12:30 kickoff?
12:30 kickoff.
These games are usually tired. They're just getting out of bed, had their brown flakes or whatever they have in the morning. By the time we get out there, they're just waking up. The sun's just start coming out. And I think it's usually slow games. I reckon it'll be 0-0 half-time. And I reckon we have an opportunity to nick it and hold on to 1-0. This would be the best game to ever do that 1-0, which I've been begging for the last however long the show's been going. But like, this would be the best game to do that against a team that has so much possession and sort of creates so many chances, you know. So I'm really kind of confident we can do this if the tactics are right, because we've got the players.
Yeah. Solo screen for Solo. For me, it's a tough one. I always go with 3-1. We've never done 3-1 before. So 2-1, no. Right. I'm going to be sensible. I'm going to go for 2-2 as well. I'm going to be very sensible. I think both teams are going to score. It's going to be like a end-to-end game. And I think like what Mr. B said, we probably ain't going to take opportunity and chances to finish Man City off. And we probably going to feel like a loss. But at the moment, it's a must-win game for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has to win this game. Otherwise, the pressure is going to mount on him if we lose, and especially if we got absolutely annihilated by City. So I'm praying we do not get beaten by City. I know there's a lot of people out there with Ole out, and some fans want Man United to lose to get Ole out. Ole ain't going nowhere. So forget that. Ole is here to stay. He's at the wheels. And for me as a Man United fan, I want us to win this game. I don't care if Ole is doing a great job or not. It's against our rival, and I want us to batter them as well. If Ole can get revenge and beat them like how Liverpool beat us up, I'll take that as well. 5-0 scoreline. So guys, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. I know Mr. B ain't agreeing with my comments. Nah. So guys, if you like watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. We're the Man United Agenda, and we have got a few more shows coming up. So tomorrow night we have Friday Night Takeaway with Mr. B, and we are going to go through some of the video clips to find out who is the Monday of the week. Hopefully it's not me. We also, that will be tomorrow night at 10 p.m. We also have Talk MU. We'll be doing a live watch along on Saturday, and then we'll be having a live reaction on Sunday after the game as well, guys. So we're the Man United Agenda. We really appreciate all your comments, and also please hit that share, like, subscribe button. And it has been an amazing show tonight. Thank you all for watching.
Hold on. Two things I want to add. You can also tune into a quiz show tomorrow night. We have a quiz show on the channel. I just want to plug it because considering you won't. 8:30 tomorrow, quiz show. We've got a Liverpool fan coming on, and I'm going to terrorize him. That's James from TMC.
TTM Sports.
TTM Sports. Top man. Love you, James, but I'm gonna be. You're not going to recognize me tomorrow. I'm going to be attacking you with my questions. And also, if you like boxing, tune in at 10 o'clock on FTP Sports. I will be delivering my weekly boxing show.
Thank you, guys. And sorry we couldn't get through all the comments, but please like, please share, please subscribe. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel, really. And we really appreciate all your support. So from us at the Mania Agenda, have a lovely evening. And thank you so much for watching.